videos where you have an officer basically around the neck area.
These two retired Vegas cops, now podcast hosts.
They don't have ID, they can't get into a hotel room. To get them the help they need, especially if someone even gets arrested. A lot of people don't know how the justice system works.
What you guys have going on is necessary, it's needed.
Welcome to the Problem Solvers Show. We're here every single Thursday at 4:30 or whenever Beja decides to show up. That's when we go on the air. But today I'm going to be the host. Dave Kohlmeier is playing sick. I don't know if he's really sick. He's making an excuse. I don't know, but he's not coming in today. But I do have great co-hosts today. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Always great to be here.
And John T.
Woohoo! Hey,
are you guys ready?
Ready for this topic today.
This topic's going to be good. Now, see, since Kohlmeier's not here, we're gonna loosen the show up a little bit. So listen, this is going to be for mature audiences only. Would you agree?
Mature, definitely.
So put the kids to bed right. Just put them to bed. Say, hey, put a nice cartoon on for them. Put it there in their room because this show is going to be crazy tonight. So since Kohlmeier's away, the first thing I wanted to talk about, right, especially having you two beautiful girls here tonight, the worst date you ever been on.
Oh,
and I'm going to go first if you don't mind. And then we'll let you guys go, all right?
Shit, I need to think about this one. Okay.
Yeah, all right. So
Danny.
When I first got divorced, right, I got separated. I started dating and everything, right? So I met this girl, and she said, let's go out on a date. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go for dinner. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, right? So I pick her up, and you got to realize I'm paying about $1,600 a month alimony, okay? And I'm paying about $1,600 for a mortgage, so it's about $3,200. So I'm living off a cop salary, which is $85,000 a year, okay? So I'm broke, okay? So I just want to tell you that straight out. When I was going through my divorce, I was broke. So this girl gets in my car, and she tries to fix her hair when she gets in my car. So she brings down the dash, and there's no lights on the mirror in my car, just the mirror. And she looks at me and goes, what kind of generic car are you driving? She said to me.
What?
And I'm like, oh, well, this is off to a bad start. That's the first thing she says to me. We get in the car, that I'm driving a generic vehicle. That's what she told me. Then we go out to dinner. And while we're at dinner, she's yelling at the waitress, complaining about everything. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm never going out with you again.
Wow.
She embarrassed me, screaming at the waitress and complaining. And I mean, that's something you just don't do on a first date.
First date, I was going to say.
First date, yes.
Wait, but Danny, she got into your car, so she knew your car. She knew what your car was already, right?
Yes.
Before she got in.
Yeah.
She did. That's surprising.
You can see the car with your eyes.
Right.
Yeah. She didn't like that I had no light, generic light. This was the worst date ever. And honest to God, when I dropped her off, I couldn't wait to drop her off. Honest to God, because I'm not into yelling at waitresses and people like that. And she was doing that. So I dropped her off and I said to her, hey, I'll see you. Maybe we'll do this again. She goes, oh, I can't wait. She texts me the next day. I just ignored her, never texted her again because
wow.
It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And I'm sure you guys had worse dates than this. But to me, that was the worst date I ever was on. But I didn't date a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was married for 17 years. I've been with my girlfriend now for 13. So I didn't date a lot.
So was that one in between your wife, ex-wife, and your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Was that date?
I had about 4 years single.
Oh, okay.
So I dated a lot in them 4 years, but this girl was the worst. I mean, she didn't like my car. She didn't like anything. And then she gets, the next day, she's texting me the date was fantastic, but it was horrible.
Some people just like to complain, I think.
Yeah.
Probably, but wait, did you have interactions with her before you took her out on this date?
Yes, we talked over the internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
long?
talked over the internet. A couple of weeks, but we knew each other from school, back in school.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
we knew each other from back in school.
Okay, so she saw how you look and everything. So it wasn't just she just met
No. She knew what I looked like and everything. So she knew everything about me.
Yeah.
I guess she thought I had more money.
Maybe she's on a period when you picked her up.
I don't know.
You just picked a bad day for that date.
Maybe it was. I mean, it was bad. I mean, it was bad. Honest to God, totally bad. But go ahead. Who wants to go next?
How about you? Laura, you next, because I'm trying to still think about my worst date.
Yeah, well, there was a particular interaction that I had on a date, and interestingly, other parts of the date were good. But then we had this situation where he just kind of volunteered that he had been to a prostitute. And I feel like if people want to do that's their choice, but I just would prefer to not to be with someone who goes to prostitutes.
Well, not at the same time they're trying to date you,
well,
right?
just in general, I think a lot of prostitutes, there's a lot of frequently trauma and, abuse, drug addiction. There's just things in, that particular line of work that often are problematic. But then it got even worse because he explained to me that he was at this prostitute and apparently like the amount that he paid was for a certain amount of time. And then he said that the time ran out. And so then she wanted to charge him more. Like, you only get however many minutes or whatever.
So be quick. Be quick about
this
it.
Is your,
but this is on your date.
This is on the date.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is the thing. I'm like, what? First, in a way, I was glad to know because I want to know if someone's like this, but also like, that's crazy to me that you're just volunteering this information. And that he then like was annoyed because he wanted to keep going, but he didn't want to pay more. And I was like, that's terrible. You're not honoring like a woman's boundaries. So that was the worst.
All right. So let me get this right. You go out on a first date with this guy?
No, it wasn't a first date.
Okay.
It's just the worst date.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
So it's the worst.
Yeah.
So he brings up that he's gotten prostitutes in his life?
Yes.
Well,
Did he think this would help?
He just said it so matter-of-factly. And that's the other thing that I thought was so interesting is it didn't seem like it even occurred to him that would be a problem for me or a woman in general.
Do you think maybe because he wanted to be honest with you? I don't know how long you knew him.
I really think it just didn't even occur to him that could be an issue.
Right.
Honestly,
This
like
is
the
Vegas.
way,
Yeah.
no, that's literally something that has occurred to me. Is like I ask men if I'm dating them now, like if they've been to a prostitute, because that is way more likely here than a lot of other places.
Right, and it's kind of acceptable too.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's more so here certainly than a lot of other places.
Well, I've gone out with plenty of guys that's gone out with prostitutes.
Yeah, I exactly. That's a thing new to hear.
I'm like, let's talk about it, honey. Okay. I go, as long as you're not going now.
I could tell you this. I can look you both in the eye. You're probably not going to believe me, but this is the honest truth. I have never paid for sex. I've never been to a prostitute ever. You can put me on a lie detector test.
Okay, Danny, I believe you that you've never been with a prostitute, but you have paid for sex.
Technically.
Just in a different way. Not in
yes.
that way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, technically, I guess we do.
Honestly, I understand why a man would go to prostitutes because, the saying is you're paying them to leave.
Right.
That is what they say. I mean, that's what I would do too.
Right.
And to me,
So you
so
just
much of
pay
it
for them to leave.
is like how a person is handling it. But to me, what was the worst was that he was like, basically, she's like, this is the amount of time. And he's like, no, I'm going to keep going and I don't want to pay. Like, I just was like, what the heck? Like, she has a boundary.
Oh my God.
And you are saying you're trying to push past it, right? That is a huge red flag.
Right. Okay, good. So that was the last date with him, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Every time my friends come visit me here in Vegas, this is what I always tell them. I'm like, if there's a good-looking girl hitting on you at the bar, anywhere at the casinos, and good-looking girls usually don't hit on you, they're usually a prostitute. Especially if a good-looking girl's hitting on, an average-looking guy, they're usually a prostitute. I'll tell you what, probably 75% of the time I go to the strip, I get solicited by a prostitute. At least.
Okay.
75% of the time.
Yeah, because you're average. So yeah. So yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that one.
I'm
was
just
like,
kidding, Danny.
I know.
You're a good-looking guy, so if a girl's hitting on you, I think she isn't necessarily a prostitute all the time.
I was
think you
gonna
need to
say
give
that's
yourself more credit.
Probably true as well. Yeah.
He's just fishing for compliments.
No, I'm not.
Damn it.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Me and my buddy one night, it's like 3 a.m. We're drunk, okay? We're walking back to Bally's. We were staying at Bally's. We're walking back. These two girls pass us. Obviously prostitutes, okay? And they're like, hey, where are you guys going? You just want some company and this and that? And we're like, no, we're heading back to our hotel room. My buddy's like, My buddy, who was drunk at the time, is like, we like free prostitutes. Are you free? That's what he says to them. He says, we only like free. And they're like, no, we're not free, but we'll give you a discount, they say. But honestly, that's happened to me plenty of times on the strip.
Okay.
The strip is, especially after 2, 3 in the morning, you sit at the bar anywhere on the strip, especially at the Flamingo. I used to stay there a lot, all the time. So,
See, that's why when I sit at the bar at a casino or something, which sometimes as a normal girl, you want to go out and have a cocktail.
Exactly.
Right.
And you may not be with anyone. You might just want to be by yourself. So that's why I don't look around. So when I'm there, I'm just going to focus on my drink and my game and don't look around. Because if you do, the guys are looking at you,
right.
trying to figure out if you're a hooker or not.
Yeah.
It is a thing where I think it's a challenge because like I like to dress up and occasionally I'm out by myself. So I think some people might assess me and think that I am.
Yeah. And every single casino you go to, right, is usually the middle bar, right?
Yeah.
And of course that's where we would go because that's what it's happening there.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to some bar, like where there's no one there, right?
Right.
Yeah. So because of that, they already assume that we're working.
Right.
And if you're semi-attractive.
But I think it's this town. Like you said it, Vegas. You said that. It's Vegas. I mean, you don't have hookers all over every bar in any other city but Vegas. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe the metropolitan cities like New York, maybe certain places, or LA. There's certain places too that they would assume that.
I used to go to Atlantic City before I moved here. Like I'd go to Atlantic City every single weekend. I mean, we were there all the time. There was hookers there, but definitely not as many as Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely 100% not many as Vegas.
But you went there because of gambling, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
we'll get into that, right? That's
we're going to talk about gambling too. But listen, I don't think we got off track. We didn't hear your worst date.
Okay, so
right? We didn't hear John T's.
Okay, yeah. So honestly, I'm trying to think of an actual date that is memorable in my head that was bad, right? But for me, I tend to block bad, experiences or situations. So it kind of blocked out of my head. But all I know is that if I'm on a date and a guy is cheap, it's no win.
Oh,
it's
so with you.
Oh my god.
So if I brought a coupon to the date, that wouldn't be. What if I got to buy one get one free?
No,
though?
I don't mind that. Okay, but please don't do that on the first date. Okay, maybe several dates and you're getting to know that person a little bit, and now you're kind of together and you want to save money. Perfect. I'm all into that. But
Right.
if it's a first date or second date and you're trying to impress me, I mean, if you're cheap or if you say, hey, you want to, split the bill, I'll be like, what? Okay, we'll split. Yeah, okay, sure, we'll split.
I agree with you there. I'm old school. I believe the man should always pay. I mean, that's my opinion,
Right.
I think the man should always pay. I would never ask a girl to split a check.
Well, first and second date, okay, yeah,
Right.
I get it. Like I said, if you get to know each other a little bit more and and you're now maybe dating, okay, then I don't mind splitting the bill or actually paying for it. I
Right.
paid for plenty of men.
Right. Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Hookers too, yes.
Hookers too?
Yes, easy.
You paid for hookers?
Sure.
For your man?
Yeah.
No,
No,
you
male
didn't.
hookers.
Oh, no, you haven't.
Yes.
No, you haven't. Get out of here.
I've even paid for hookers for my men too.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Really?
Come on, life.
My God, I don't even know what to say. Yeah,
I've never.
I told you this is for mature audiences.
Come on, life is, sex and life gets monotonous sometimes, and depending on your situation or your relationship. I mean, I've always, well, not always, okay? There are some men in my life in the past that was very outgoing, and that's what they like. And it was okay as long as they were honest with me. So I would buy them hookers. Because I knew at the end that was it. It was just sex.
Okay.
And sometimes as a woman, you don't want or you don't feel like doing something, right? Or, I don't feel like giving you a blowjob that day. So, honey, I mean, I'll buy you a blowjob.
So do you consider yourself polyamorous then?
I don't know. I mean, not really.
So you weren't jealous? Or anything?
No,
You
no.
weren't there, though.
No, I was there.
You were there when he's getting the BJ?
Yeah, I'd like to be there. Yes. I mean, I'm the one that's making the decision. I'm the one that's paying for it. So I have to okay it.
I think this is
Yeah.
very fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think, okay, so for me, it depends on the relationship. Obviously, it hasn't happened with every single guy.
Right.
I have to be very secure in that relationship. I have to
Understand.
know that
He
the
likes
man,
you.
No, the man is in love with me or
Yeah.
he's my man. He's going
Yeah.
home with me. This is just a little side extra fun.
So let me ask you this, because this is probably a serious question. So you're okay because you paid for the hooker. What if it was another girl you knew? Would you ever do that?
No, I haven't done that. I don't want to cross that line because now, if you do it with someone that you know or that you're close with, then it has potential to be something more.
I agree.
Right? So I don't want to do that. If my man wanted something like that, I was okay. I'm going to get you a straight hooker. It can't be my girlfriend. It can't be my sister. It can't be any of that stuff.
So there is male hookers in Vegas?
Absolutely.
Of course, you can find anything you want.
What?
Male hookers?
Oh, I mean, some of your friends could be. I don't know.
Oh, jeez. So you actually got one of them too, and the guy was okay with that?
Yes, of course.
He was in the room when that happened?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because guys are weird about that stuff like that.
But some guys are
Into that?
cuckoldry, fetishes where they actually enjoy and kind of get off on that.
Right, or watching their girl with other men and stuff. No, not.
See, I grew up in the 80s, man. I guess
that was way wild back then. What are you talking about?
I don't know,
60s,
man.
70s?
I didn't see any of this stuff.
Oh, you poor innocent Danny.
So I've pulled up
You didn't
the
go
definition.
to the right
Oh,
place.
wait. Our producer here is going to let us know.
I've pulled up the definition of polyamory.
All right.
And I'll read it to you, and you can tell us if this describes you.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
The practice of engaging in multiple romantic and typically sexual relationships with the consent of all the people involved.
Yeah, no, see. No, that's not what I am.
Well, I guess it depends on how you define a relationship, because that's, if it's a sexual act, some people would consider that
kind of
relationship and
kind of
some
like
would not.
swingers, right?
Right.
You can describe swingers as that. No. I'm not a swinger for sure. It just depends on the relationship and who they are and how long we've been together, all that good stuff.
I think I'm just kind of a traditionalist in some ways, even though I would say I'm not in other ways, but in like romantic relationships, I'm kind of more of a traditionalist.
Right. Meaning like one-on-one?
Yeah.
Always? Okay.
So there's
I'm
no...
kind of a bit old-fashioned.
There's no buying hookers, right? There's no... John T's buying hookers. You're not buying the hookers, right?
No.
Okay.
No, only because, because
All right.
men, okay, and it's not, okay, as women, I feel that, yes, we can be, monotonous and, monogamous, right?
Not a Freudian slip.
Yeah, right? We can be more monogamous, but for men, it seems like it's not in their genetic makeup to be so, or actually the majority, right? You have a minority of group of men that would be okay, right? But I don't know. In my experience in life, I just don't hear about too many men turning that down if they're able to get it.
I think you're right. The majority definitely operate as you're talking about, but there are some that are monogamous and truly just desire that one as well.
Yeah, but like what, 1%?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Possibly
Yeah.
of the whole man population in the entire,
Listen, I think that brings
universe.
that brings me to another question, and I'll see what you guys think. All right. I think men could be in love with a girl. Okay, say you get a guy, he's in love with you, John D. He loves everything about you. Okay, wants to marry you and everything. I think I agree with you. That guy could still cheat on you and still love you. And it's crazy that men are like that. I'm embarrassed that I'm a man because a man could do that. And he could still love you and still fault for that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why.
Would you agree?
Yes. Although I think we always have to ask, what is a loving way to treat a person?
Right.
You can be in love with someone and do things that aren't very loving to that person.
Right.
Yes. But I think there's a sort of biological, urge that is much stronger in men in that way. And also you just have to look at, how we have procreated in the past. There's been a lot of men spreading their seed, which then led to progeny, and so it's genetically in there.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why I don't fault men for it. I really don't, and I understand if a man comes to me and they say, okay, well, this is what I would like to do or try or experience, as long as for me it's honesty.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If a man is dishonest, it's over. But if you're honest, you can get away with so much stuff with me, But I have to be a part of it, obviously.
Good to know. This is a good conversation today.
It's fascinating.
All right, I got another question. We could lead to other questions on dating. So, when I grew up, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have, Match.com. So I've never dated from an app. I never did any of this stuff. Mm-hmm. Have you? Good experiences and bad experience. Either one want to go first. John T, you want to go first on this
online?
one? Yeah, online. Did you ever meet a guy online and date him?
No, actually, we covered this before. But,
okay.
No, I'm not on any online apps. The only thing is the social media, which I get a lot of messages on there for dating, right? So Instagram and Facebook. So no, I haven't been on any of the dating apps, but through some of the social media apps, I have chatted with maybe a couple people.
And let me ask you this. Was it men that don't know you, like physically never met you, just saw your picture?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just based on that, right?
Huh.
Yeah. And dick pics. That's where we'll get them as well.
Yeah.
Through that. Yeah. They just see our picture and they're like, here, we want to show your penis.
So me and Laura, we're actually talking about this, that we were going to talk about this on the podcast. I cannot believe guys have, like, what would possess them to do that? And I can tell you this, I've never sent a dick pic, ever, and never will.
Oh, that's good.
Never.
Good.
I just don't get it. Like, yo, here's my dick. I hope you like it. What do you say? Here you go.
I don't get it either. Honestly, maybe we need to bring in a man, and that maybe has done it.
I was going to say, Danny's a man. Please continue that sentence.
Chase, have you ever sent a dick pic?
Be honest, Chase.
Oh, that's a yes. That's a yes.
When they
That's
ask
a yes.
for it, of course, yeah. When they ask for it.
Okay, but you never just randomly.
No,
send it to
God, no.
somebody. Okay.
That is horrible.
Okay, yeah, no, I've gotten those random, like just random.
Yeah, consent is an important thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I agree. I think that's just it. Is so many men don't understand that basic consensual, whether it's groping or catcalling or a dick pic. But yeah, I actually have had a couple of examples of like pretty intense dick pic situation.
What do you mean intense?
Well,
what's intense?
I'll tell the stories. It's
right.
to the next level. So I met a guy actually live at an event. This is many years ago when I lived in LA, and he was a fitness model, just to give some background on what he did and what he looked. He was handsome, attractive, very fit guy. Immediately, was really hitting on me. We exchanged information, and we were just kind of texting, flirty, but not sexual in the texting.
All right.
I feel that's important to share. And then he sends me a text and says, I sent you an exercise video. So he's a fitness model. I'm like, okay, I open it and it's him jacking off.
Oh, so he's exercising. He's burning calories.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And so that's why I was like extreme, like next level.
Oh my God.
Action. And so I responded and was like, basically like, I'm only responding to tell you never connect with me again. I'm blocking you. And I did. Wow. And then I had years later with someone I met on Match where, it's a problem with people that either are catfishing or they just don't look like who they say that they are. Like I had my first online date from an app. Like the guy, he looked like, 10, 12 years older, 40 pounds heavier than his photos.
Oh
just like God. At that point, you're like a different person, right?
Exactly.
And so at that point, I decided, no, it is probably a good idea to FaceTime or get some kind of visual indicator, like this is actually the person I'm going to meet before we actually meet in person. So I started to sometimes FaceTime with the person. So we arranged this guy that I matched with to FaceTime, and he did the same thing. He FaceTimed me jacking off. So that wasn't a video. That was like in real life time. First time. Like we had only... He
answered the phone.
No, he initiated it. But I was like, well, we were going to do that anyway. And so I answered it, and he's literally in the action.
So uncouth, like these men.
Yeah. And the crazy part is that I reported him to Match because that's where I had met him, and then blocked him. And then he apparently created a new name and profile because I saw him on the app again with a different name.
Oh my God. He's
Same
a predator.
picture.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See, those stories like that, that's why I don't want to get on online dating,
That's
it's
crazy.
Scary. It really is.
But if we go back to the pics, guys sending that, I just don't. First of all, girls are not. Maybe you're different, John T, because you're sort of like, you kind of have like the guy attitude sometimes too. But guys are more visual. So when guys see girls, it's all visual with guys. Everything's visual with us. We got to like what we're seeing. So I can see pics, like girls sending guys pics, but I don't know. I don't think, do you find guys attractive like that they're sending dick pics?
No.
Right. That girls don't want to see that,
Not
right?
at all. I often wonder, it's like, okay, what do you think I'm going to react? Or how do you think I'm going to react to your dick pic? I mean, oh my God, it's so big. Please come over now. Or something. Like, what is it that I don't know.
I think there's a lot of guys that are honestly kind of queuing off of porn. Like they've watched a lot of porn and they're modeling like how to do interactions with women based on like, first of all, porn is not real. I hate to break it to you, but like those women and men are acting like,
Right.
you know, so, but I think that's part of it. I really do that. A lot of, especially young men are watching porn and they're getting these kind of ideas of interactions through that.
I'm embarrassed to be a man after talking to you guys today. and then, you know what else I see you guys know I'm big on TikTok. A lot of girls on TikTok now, like I'll be going through my feeds and they'll be sitting there and they'll just have their feet up to the screen while they're talking barefoot. Because men are so sick, they want to see girls' feet. I mean, they're doing that now on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
And girls are just doing that on TikTok. That's all they do is they sit there with their feet up on the screen.
Oh, wow. So instead of actually, well, so they're just getting more followers.
Yes,
yeah,
is what they're
there's that
doing.
Feet finder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The feet fetish.
Yes.
I don't get that either.
Yeah.
I'm very embarrassed by guys.
I don't either, but you know what? I might give it a shot just to see how much money I can make.
Just showing your feet, right?
Yeah, they don't have to know who I am.
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
I'm thinking about it because I've seen online where a whole bunch of girls are making like a lot of money. You know,
I don't
100
have
grand and
issue
stuff.
with that as long as it's consensual. Like to me, I'm like, as long as everyone is an adult and like they agree, that's, you know, people have their kinks, whatever, that's fine. But yeah, it's the non-consensual, like we're not even having a sexual conversation. Here's my penis.
Right. And you know what I've done though? Every single time that I get a dick pic, so I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to all my friends. So you'll get it. You'll get the next one. So guys, if you want to send me your dick pic, you can go ahead. But everyone's going to see it. So make it impressive, please.
I remember once I was in this Facebook group in LA and it was like girls' night out or girls' night in, something like that. And yeah, that's what the girls would do. They'd share the pics that they got in this group with like thousands of women. And then everyone would critique the photo. And it was hilarious because like, I remember this one that this guy sent and like, his nails were disgusting, like dirty, ragged, and you're like,
yeah,
have some care.
Oh man,
he's like a serial killer, sending you a dick pic.
I got another topic for us.
Sure.
What is the craziest line someone said to you to try to pick you up? Anything? And I'll go first again and let you guys think about it.
Okay.
Because I'm sure you two, you've probably been hit on a million times. So what was the one that you saw and you thought, this is just nuts?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one. I just got recently separated. I was going through my divorce. I sat down to get a haircut. So as I'm getting a haircut, the girl's cutting my hair and she goes to me, so what are you and your girlfriend doing tonight? And I'm like, I didn't say I had a girlfriend, I said to her. And she goes, oh, you don't have a girlfriend? I said, no. She goes, well, one comes with the haircut. I don't know if you know that. So that was the line I got from a girl while I was getting a haircut.
Cute.
It was cute. It was cute.
Yeah, it wasn't like bad.
No, it was actually a cute line. But that's probably, we don't get hit on much. So that's probably like twice in my life that I was hit on.
So your girlfriend was there?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, okay.
No, I was dating nobody at the time. when she did it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got separated.
So the one that gave you that line, you didn't ask her out?
No.
She wasn't very hot, was
No.
she? Oh, that's why.
Have you been hit on by a man though?
Never.
Oh. Are you not telling us the truth, Danny?
No, I swear to God, never.
Kind of hard to believe.
How about one of those streetwalkers? They could be a man.
I guess they could, yeah.
Yeah, like a
I not that I know of.
Oh,
Maybe I was.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
What about you? Hit on, I think we talked before the podcast. You were hit on by opposite sex too, right? You were telling us the story.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm actually bisexual. I've had 2 ex-girlfriends.
Okay.
So,
So she gets hit on by everything.
She gets hit on by everything. Laura can give both perspectives.
But what's funny is that I still sometimes it catches me off guard. And interestingly, like older married women seem to have it.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
where I just don't expect it, and I also get asked for threesomes a lot. I mean, literally, like I was at Caesar's not long ago, and I was in the bathroom like washing my hands, and like this woman's like, "Oh my God, I love your boots," and and I'm like, "Oh, your hair's cute." Having what seems like just a girl conversation, then she's like, "Would you like to have a threesome with me and my boyfriend?" Like it was literally in the first 2 minutes of conversation. So yeah.
What'd you say?
Well, I declined. But
well, and I was kidding.
Well,
and
it was awkward during breakfast the next morning, but right?
That's funny. Oh
I couldn't even imagine asking somebody that, like a stranger.
Yeah, it happens fairly often. Mm-hmm.
Well, see,
Really?
it's probably easier to ask a stranger than it would be someone you know, obviously, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Did that ever happen to you?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, not now. I think I have a different kind of presence now, you know. But when I was younger, all the time.
Really?
All the time.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was amazing.
I think we brought up there's two swinger clubs here in Vegas, right? The Green Door.
Oh, yes.
And what's the other one? God, I can't think of it.
The Roosters.
Yeah, the Red
Rooster.
Oh, Chase! Now, how did you know that? Chase. We found out if you ask him to send a dick pic, he will. And he's been to the Red Rooster.
Yeah.
I didn't say I've been.
What?
I just know about it.
He's a worldly guy. He knows about
Thank
things.
you very much. Thank you
I have
very
been to the Green Door though.
No.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I've definitely.
What's it like in there? Like, is it like creepy? Is it like I see being like scared going in there? I'd have to be like high off my ass. I'd have to smoke a full joint before I went in there.
I was.
All right.
This is
Okay.
a long time ago though. A long
All right.
time ago. So it's dark and it's kind of dingy, and obviously they keep it dark for a reason. You have about 70% men and 30% women or more or less. I'm sorry.
All right.
And they have like different rooms so you can go and do whatever you're doing. For the most part, I mean, people keep. It's funny. all these bars like this or all these sex clubs, the men seem to keep their shirt on but no pants.
That would be me.
Kind of the
I wouldn't want to. I'd rather take my pants off than my shirt.
I know, but they're walking around with their shirts on and no pants, So
And just like walking around the club, like, hey, get me a beer.
it's hilarious. But yeah, no, it was fun. I was very drunk and very, very intoxicated, and I was with a date, and it's someone that I knew obviously, and we started kind of messing around, and we went into one of the rooms. And this room had so it was kind of like a mirror, a glass, right? So it's the room that has like a bed, whatever. And then on the other side of it, they had kind of theater seatings. So we went in there and we locked the door, thank God, because people were trying to get in. So we started doing our thing, and then we had a crowd of people just watching. So, but I was so intoxicated, I didn't think about that. I was just kind of in the zone.
Okay, so you watched people have sex.
No, they watched them.
us. They watched us.
Oh.
Yeah. But we went in that room.
Danny's like,
And like theater seating, like, hey, get me some popcorn. Hey, Chase, bring in the popcorn. We're gonna watch Genty have sex there.
The crowd.
Right? Yes. And they do the wave, right?
Pretty much. But I remember hearing like people trying to come into the room as we're doing what we're doing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So thank God I locked the door.
How many people?
Yeah.
How many people were watching?
Honestly, I want to say maybe between 20 and 30, maybe, because obviously they waited until the show was over, and then when we came out, the crowd started following us. But that's what happens because they want to get to know you, or they want to talk to you, or they want to be a part of it, or whatever, right? So that's what happens when you go to these clubs as a woman. The guys will start following you, so you have like a little crowd because they're waiting and watching
for it to go down.
Yeah, to see what they can do or to see how they can be a part of it, all that good stuff.
Describe the crowd to me, because I'm always interested in this. Are they like older, younger? Is it all different?
All different.
Really?
Yeah. I can see you there.
Yeah.
Laura can be there too. So can Chase.
Oh my God.
I'll be there.
We should do a live podcast from there. From the Green Door live, the problem solvers. We're solving problems in the community.
Now though that I'm older and more aware and, more OCD, I don't know if I will find myself in those places anymore because I'm really weird about dirt.
Right.
Yeah.
And cleanliness now.
Cleanliness.
Yeah. But when you're high or you're, really drunk, you probably are not thinking any of that stuff. But now it's like, ooh, I don't even want to sit on a chair,
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
I have had issues with being groped and grabbed or whatever in a non-sexual environment. So
Jesus.
I think that would be really challenging for me. I'd be very concerned about that.
Right.
So you've been...
Even if I wasn't participating, because I wouldn't want to participate. I just to be clear, I think some people go just to watch or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would be very concerned about that.
Voyeur.
I was telling Danny, I've been groped at the South Point Casino, for example.
That's crazy.
Not
Just walking by.
I was going to a show. It was the Priscilla Presley show.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just where it was. And I went with a friend, a female friend, and we were at the point where we're handing over our tickets in the theater, and my friend who I went with, her name's Delilah, she was behind me, so she saw this, and this guy was walking by, asked where the bathrooms were. I just kind of heard him say that.
Okay.
He looked like he was, I would guess, upper 70s, lower 80s, like old man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he literally, on his way as he walked by, he just grabbed my butt. And
He's like, I'm almost dead. I have nothing to lose.
And I just honestly think and I said something right away. I was like, that guy just grabbed me. I said it to the staff because they were literally taking my ticket.
Yeah.
And I think they just kind of joked around about it and didn't really take it seriously at first. But I suspect that he just thought I would just kind of grin and bear it.
Oh, my goodness.
That's horrible.
Because
Did
he's
you say
so
it was an
old.
older guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
70
my
or 80.
God. Has
Yeah.
this happened to you more than once?
Yes. But that one was the most overt because it was like not in a like. I think women get grabbed a lot, like at nightclubs or something, where there's a crowd and you can't see who's, like where's the hand coming from or whatever.
Yeah.
That's very common.
Wow.
And somewhat expected. But I also got groped, interesting, in Egypt. Like any kind of crowd situation in Egypt, you have to be careful because like there's groping that's going to happen. But yeah, this is the first time I got groped in like a kind of like controlled, like it's not a cheap theater. Like we had to spend good money to get those tickets.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like nice sit down tables, yeah.
I just have this visual of like a dirty old man, like.
So did I. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him wearing like a big winter coat and stuff like that. I don't know what stains on it.
No, I mean, he just had like a kind of tropical looking shirt.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, that would be the guy.
No, they just sit there and, maybe in their head they're still young, but they can't move.
I just think too, when he was a young man, that a lot has changed in terms of what's accepted, right?
Right.
But I'm like, I'm just not accepting that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
So I sat down and I think I was in a little bit of shock. So if you're not familiar with trauma response, there's fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And I think I went into, I said something right away, and then I think I went into a bit of like freeze. And then I was sitting there during the show and I'm like, this is really upsetting me. Like I was still thinking about it. And then I went to the management and was like, this isn't okay. Like they should have like immediately tried to find the guy.
Yeah.
You should have been thrown out.
Right.
Yep.
But by the time I went to there, like, he was long gone, I'm sure.
Okay.
But I didn't like how they handled it. And I'm sure he was surprised I even said anything because of his age.
Right.
That's my guess.
What
and
did
that's
you,
what you see.
What
with
did you say?
I said he just grabbed me.
Oh, okay.
To the staff, like immediately
Okay.
there was like, the woman taking the tickets and the guy that was about to seat me. And he just even joked about it. He said, don't worry, I won't do it too. I'm like,
Oh.
Is that what he said to you?
yeah.
Wow.
Like just not appropriate.
Yeah,
No, don't joke about that. First of all, that's not funny. But
Right.
also like,
Right.
no, I've just been assaulted. Like,
Yeah. It's a good thing that your reflex wasn't like to slap him or something.
I have thought about it. It's interesting because if someone physically, like say were attack me or something, do aggressive, in general, I might do that. But when it's something sexual, I tend to kind of like freeze,
Got it. Yeah.
which I think is pretty common for women actually.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I grab them back usually. I know.
Which
seriously.
I think that,
and I
that's,
go for their penis. I
Well-
really do. Like I'm like, oh,
I think that's
that's my reflex.
tit for tat, so to speak, right? Seems fair. But what was the most irritating about that whole situation, aside from actually being groped, is that when they finally did call the security and they were asking me, and the security guard repeatedly said, "Are you sure he grabbed you?"
Oh yeah.
It's like if someone grabbed your whatever,
You know it.
Yeah.
you're not like you're pretty clear. And my friend was a witness behind me; she saw it. So it was like, wow, there's a lot of retraining I think that needs to happen.
Sure.
On how to handle these kinds of things.
We're joking around today about, sex talk and dating and stuff, and it's all in fun. But guys, I'm looking at you. I respect women. It's horrible. You don't do stuff. Keep your hands to yourself and don't offend them, for God's sake. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if someone says they've been assaulted, first, don't joke about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And secondly, don't question them because that's very common, and that it leads people that have been victimized to start to question their sanity. It also just feels really bad, if
Right.
it happens enough.
Right.
It's a problem.
And, I dealt, being a cop, and I was a detective for 14 years, I dealt with a lot of sexual assault cases.
Yeah.
And, the thing is, a lot of people I always hear this. When a girl comes out like 2 years later and says this guy's some celebrity sexually assaulted her and stuff, and people always say to me, guys always say, why'd she wait so long? Why'd she wait so long to come out with this? It's a hard thing to say, especially if you were sexually assaulted by a celebrity.
Yes.
You know that you're going to be questioned. You know the press is going to be on you. So you really have to think about it. And most women think maybe it's better if I just don't say anything.
Absolutely.
And I think that's wrong. But I think I understand why they don't say anything, because it's going to be embarrassing to them. Sometimes they feel like they may have been at fault, even if 100% they weren't. Plus, you're going against a celebrity or a politician or something like that. They're scared. Would you agree?
They always flip
Yeah.
it too, and
Yeah.
and make it sound like you're the one that, was asking for it or something.
Yes.
Right?
Like what you were wearing,
Yeah.
or what did you do to
Yeah.
like bring about. Yeah, and again, I want to bring up that fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. That
Okay.
sometimes when women are not bringing it up, they go into freeze mode, and it's a safety mechanism. Like it's like a way to protect yourself. If you feel like you're in danger, you're not thinking. You're
Yeah.
just literally in a sort of reactive protective state, whatever one of those that you do. So it sounds like you go into fight.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna grab him
Oh,
back.
No, yes. No, I've trained myself to do that. Or else I would get abused. I mean, I did get abused before when I was younger, 17, 18,
Yeah.
whatever. So I would always get grabbed too in clubs and stuff. But I got to the point, I'm like, you know what? If someone does it, I'm going to do it back right away,
Yeah.
or slap them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
My God,
train
that's
myself
crazy.
for that.
I when I hear these stories, honestly, like I said, I have 2 daughters, so I think of this all the time. And my one daughter is telling you, she's like, Dad, I'm afraid just walking in the store when I pass a man. I'm afraid walking down the sidewalk. If I see a man walking towards me and I'm alone, I go on the other side, And then she says that, when she's walking in like Albertsons just to get food or something, guys are catcalling her from their cars, saying stuff. She goes, I just want to get my groceries. Leave me alone. Leave me
Yeah.
alone. Guys, please respect these
Yeah.
women. It's horrible.
And when you're younger, you don't know how to respond to all those things. I remember when I was younger, I would just get upset, and I'd flip them off, or I would say "fuck you." But now that I'm older, I've learned how to accept it, and I've even switched it to, oh, it's a compliment, right?
Right.
So I'm like, all right, you're catcalling me, or you're like, oh, you're beautiful, thank you. So now I
Right.
just say thank you.
Right.
Yeah. So which I think the men that are doing it are shocked by that too, because they're not used to that, maybe, because
Right.
of my attitude with it now. Because
Right.
maybe they're used to people going "fuck you," or whatever, right?
Right.
Yes, responding in a bad way.
Right.
So now I'm like, well, thank you so much. I know.
I think it depends on the person though, because sometimes that can be good and kind of disarm them, but sometimes they can take that as an invitation. And so I've had situations
Yeah.
where any kind of in, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna go harder. Oh, you responded? Okay, I'm not gonna try and touch you.
Yeah, no, I haven't had that happen.
That's good.
Yeah, every single time that's happened where it's just a stranger on the street and they'll do something like that, I just go, thank you, honey. And then it's like, okay, yeah, it's never gotten worse for me.
That's good.
Yeah, thank God.
Oh
But
my
the other side used to get worse. When I used to get upset and then I'll cuss or I'll flip them off, that's gotten worse.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. I tend to just ignore, or if they're, give a compliment. I don't to whistling or whatever. I don't respond. But if they just say something and it's not really if it's sexual, I'm just like, I'm gonna
Right.
ignore that.
Right. Well, I mean, usually it's, oh, you're beautiful, or, something like that, right?
Yeah,
You're gorgeous. It's not anything too vulgar.
yeah,
Yeah.
Would you guys say this happens to you daily? Probably, right?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I work from home, so I don't always leave the house. But yeah, when I go out, yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think after a while you just get used to it now. I have friends too, when we go places that these things happen, or the guys are like gawking, like they've never seen a woman before. And some of my girlfriends would get really uncomfortable with it. And I'm like, you know what, honey, it's okay. I go, the flip side is you can be so ugly that they don't even want to look at you. So it's okay. Let them gawk, and if they're close by, just say thank you.
Does that, let me ask you this. I mean, I don't see how catcalling could ever get you a date. I mean, you sound desperate. Wow, look how hot you are. I mean, it sounds desperate to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they think that would be like, oh, yeah, she's going to date me after I say this, right?
I don't think it's even them wanting a date. I just think it's just boys being boys.
Like, yeah, looking
Yeah.
at a good-looking girl.
I think
Yeah.
it's to get attention. They're trying to get your attention, right?
Right.
And so even if you respond in any capacity, they're getting that attention.
Right.
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 And that's why most of the time I honestly just ignore it, because I'm like, I'm not going to give you my.
But the thing is, if you ignore it, sometimes it gets worse too, right? Because
sometimes
they
it
get
does.
upset, just like men messaging you, right, online, and you don't know them from Adam. So they're trying all these different ways to get your attention or to get you to respond, but you don't respond, and then they start cussing you out.
So then they get mad when
And
you
then
don't.
they get mad. Exactly. After the 20th time of trying to reach out to you, all of a sudden you don't say anything. Oh, you're a fucking bitch. Or you think you're better than I am, blah, 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 right?
Right.
So sometimes it's just better to say, you know what, thank you. And that's it. And that's the end of it.
Jeez. That's crazy. So it happens daily basis. I got to admit, I never had a cat call. Chase, any girl ever cat called you?
More often than you think.
No, you serious?
That's why I was like, I'm shocked, Danny, that you've never experienced that.
No girls ever said, "Hey, hottie." I never had that before.
You just said it. You get hit on all the time by...
Well, hookers, 'cause they want they want money. They're hitting on everybody.
Okay. All right.
Have you ever been to San Francisco?
Never.
Okay, because when I was in college, I had a boyfriend, and we were there visiting a friend of mine, a female friend, and we were in the like gay area.
Okay.
And he was getting catcalled, and he was getting stared at, and I was like, this is so refreshing for me. Like, not that I wanted it, but like, because it made him so uncomfortable, and I was like, okay, now you know.
It wouldn't make
what
me
it's
feel
like.
uncomfortable. I'd be like, yes, people
Okay,
think I'm good looking.
I know where to take you then.
Yeah, people think
Yeah.
I'm good looking. I'm happy no matter who thinks
We're
I'm good looking.
taking you to, a couple places. Since you've never been hit on like that.
Honest to God, I haven't. I'm not lying to you. I know you guys think I fib sometimes. I'm not fibbing. I don't recall a girl ever saying, "Hey, hottie," or anything like that. I never seen any of my friends get hit on, nothing.
Oh.
Chase,
Wow.
maybe the girls are different. Because, see, I'm old. I'm come from old school.
What's the question?
Have you ever saw a girl, like, yell at a guy, "Hey, hottie, whoa, shake that ass," whatever?
Yes. I've done that.
I could see her doing that. Mm-hmm. Gentil would make me nervous.
That don't make you nervous now?
You do make me nervous. That's why I try to sit over here.
Well, we'll take you out so you can get hit on by normal people.
Normal people.
Yeah,
All
not
right.
working.
Not the green door.
And not working girls.
I would be too scared to go to the green door. I would. Would you go into the green door?
I don't
I'd be
think it's
scared.
my jam.
Yeah. Well, if you're a voyeur, it's also a good place just to,
But if you went there just to watch,
Yeah.
like, do they throw you out? Do you have to participate?
No, of course not. Yeah, you can watch.
What did it cost you to get in there? Like
I think
$20?
$60.
Wow.
Yeah, unless it's gone up. But before it was 60. It might be more now.
$60? Well, I guess that's good entertainment.
No alcohol. Yeah. None of these places serve alcohol, so it's
Oh,
only
really?
it's only juice and water.
You
and
can bring
stuff.
your own or no?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't serve liquor. Maybe it has to do with the licensing or something.
So you went to the Red Rooster, not the Green Door.
The Green Door.
Okay, the Green
Red
Door.
Rooster, they used to have it in different locations, so you wouldn't know until that evening. And it was like usually invitation only or whatever,
To my understanding,
Oh, here we
Yes.
go.
Oh, yes.
anywhere that
No.
anywhere that has like full nudity, is available,
Yes.
they cannot serve alcohol.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Unless it was grandfathered in from like old Vegas.
Exactly.
Like all nude strip clubs, they don't
Right.
serve either.
Right. I mean, I wonder why. Oh, but you can do drugs. you can't drink, but you can just do drugs there.
What? You know what? That's a good question. Now, what if? Now, I don't think this would be a first date, but say like you're dating a guy a month, 2 months, and he wanted to take you to a strip joint. Would you go,
Oh, absolutely.
Laura?
So I have actually gone to quite a few strip clubs when I was younger. It's just, I would say, it's not really my scene,
All right.
but I might just out of curiosity because like I've not been to strip clubs here in Vegas.
Oh.
But yeah.
See, it's different. The strip clubs here in Vegas is kind of different from the rest of the country, right? So here it's more of a bar. Like,
Yeah.
we locals go to strip clubs here just as a bar. Like we know people.
I heard the food's good too.
The food is good. You heard.
I did.
You
I heard
only
the
heard.
food's
You've never been.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
I may have came
Yeah.
in one of them. Not came in one of them.
Wait, you
I went to one of them. Not
Careful
came in one of them. Cut that out, Chase.
This is live, man.
It's coming out. It's coming
Forget
out.
it. I've been to one of
The
them.
truth comes out.
so I do like bikini bars though. Have you guys heard of bikini bars?
Yeah.
So I think those are fun.
I've never been to that.
So there's one in LA area, Hollywood area called Jumbo's Clown Room. And so, they have to have pasties. Like so
Okay.
it's not even topless. And usually the dancers have some kind of like fun kind of shtick. So I think it's almost like a combination between burlesque and like modern stripping.
Oh, that would be fun.
They usually have a pole and some of the girls will dance in the pole, but they usually have costumes and kind of themes.
Yeah.
And I like it because I don't know, there's something about it. It's still fun, kind of celebrate the girls. There's
Right.
tipping, but it's not quite so just overtly, purely, lustfully, sexually.
Exactly.
Right.
More showy.
It's more fun
Yeah.
to me. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more showy and more fun.
Yeah.
Well, I've been, when I went to my first strip joint here in Vegas, it's different because there is a lot of strippers there. Like back on the East Coast, you go to a strip joint in Vegas, and in the East Coast, there's 6 strippers, maybe 4, and you see them rotate every 15 minutes.
That's not like that in Denver.
Here, there's like 150 strippers. You walk in there, and it's maybe more.
Oh, 500.
Yeah, it's insane, and they're all grabbing you, trying to get you to go in the back room, and before you know it, you're broke in there. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, the drinks are what, $20 a
Yeah.
piece anyways,
Yes.
too? Yeah.
And they say to give you a free limo, which they do,
Sure.
but you got to buy 2 drinks when you get there. But they do
Absolutely.
give you a free limo.
That pays for the limo.
You're exactly right. So it's a scam, but
Yeah.
I have been to them.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fun, right? It's fun
Yeah.
to just go and maybe watch. I mean, you don't necessarily have to partake and get dances. I never
No.
really get dances there.
No, it could be just like a bar experience.
Exactly.
You go to the bar, hang
That's
out.
what it is.
But
It really
I've
is.
never ate there, but honest to God, I think it's Treasures. They said the food's like really good. Or Spearmint Rhino or one of
yeah.
them. They're
Well-
supposed to be really good.
2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, and you're just, you're still up and you're out.
Right.
Obviously, you're going to be hungry. And so,
Right.
trust me, any type of food at any place would probably be really good at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you've been drunk. You've been drinking, right?
That's
No,
true,
it's
that's
good, though.
true.
I'm just kidding. It's good.
All right. What do we got? We got about 5 more minutes.
Oh,
all right?
God.
What's another good question? I think this was a great topic.
Yeah.
We learned a lot today.
Yeah.
We love sex. I mean, I love talking about sex because I don't get it very often. Honestly, I know it sounds
Oh, come on.
counter, productive to what I just said. But no, it's true. And so I talk about it a lot because I get it like once every 3 to 4 years. I swear to God.
I really doubt that.
No,
Is that
it's true. Yeah.
Her friend's here. We're asking
Yeah.
her friend.
Yeah. 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 It's
Friend
true.
said yes.
I'm telling you.
All right.
I just think these conversations are so important. And I think part of what's happened is how our society is oriented, especially with online, has changed how we interact and communicate with each other. And I think we need to kind of create new protocols and rules, because so much of the decorum and sort of rules for interaction were based in person. And then you create this online texting, whatever, and it's like a new frontier.
It is.
And we're still kind of figuring it out because so much of these they're like really new platforms in terms of like overall humanity, right?
Right. But yeah, I mean, I find it very difficult. And that's why I haven't been on any of these platforms because I'm so old fashioned. I like to go somewhere. I like to meet you. If we have a connection,
Yeah.
great. I mean, online, how long do you talk until you say, okay, I'm going to meet you? And then most of the time they might not even want to meet you because they might not be the person they're representing themselves to be online. So
Right.
I don't know. It's confusing to me.
Honestly,
I don't like it at all.
I'm just being honest. I could see guys using this just to try to have sex with girls. Honestly. Like
of
just
course.
trying, you know what I mean? Just
But to have sex, you have to meet them.
Yeah,
And some
well-
of these guys don't even want to have a
face-to-face.
FaceTime. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's this funny thing. I don't really get the motivation where some guys just enjoy, I think, the back and forth and maybe photos or whatever. But
Right.
I don't get it. I'm like, to me, online is only to eventually connect and hopefully not too long to connect in person. Like,
Right.
I don't want to have like an online relationship.
Well, the good thing about that, though, that's the positive is okay, I guess you can have this sexual relationship that's online, so you never actually meet, so so that would eliminate some of the STDs.
I mean, during
Right?
COVID, that was a real thing where a lot of
Yeah.
people were doing that because they just couldn't. They were in different places
Yeah.
or people weren't connecting in person.
Right. And we're not reproducing, because you're not in contact. So that's probably a good thing for the earth.
that's true. I never even thought of that.
Less STDs and no more kids. So yay.
Well, we do.
To online.
I do like humanity. I know that might sound funny thing, but I do think we should continue.
Oh, we will, I'm sure. Come on.
I think about if I became single again, I probably wouldn't do the app thing. I'd probably just hope to meet somebody, out of
Yeah.
you just run into them.
Just
what
walk
if
down
you
the
just
street.
Yeah.
don't? But what if you don't? Like, I swear, because here's the thing. The people that I generally, that hit on me or whatever, they're not the people I would want to go out with. So
Right.
Yeah.
how do you connect if you are not, or like I work from home. I'm not even like,
Out and about.
yeah, or it's at the gas station or, whatever. It's not, that's not where I want to be.
Right.
Well, you'll meet him at the gas station. God will put him there.
But I think you could. I think you can run into people just like that. Don't you think?
To me, when I have met people like my last ex, we met in Cannes for the film festival. So when I travel, you're meeting a lot of new people in kind of different environments, something like that. But in my own kind of home environment, I don't typically know.
Okay.
No, I mean, even homeless people.
All right.
If it's the right person, you'll meet them.
Oh,
You will.
I never told you my worst pickup line.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You just reminded me of it. So there was a homeless man asking for money, and then he looked at me it's like he just de facto asked me for money, and then he said, before I could respond, he said, "Do you want to go out with me?"
That's happened to me too. Oh my God, that's happened a few times.
How are you planning to take me out?
Yeah. So you have a compassionate heart, and you want to help them, so you're giving them money, or
I wasn't even
them.
giving me. He just it's like his de facto was ask for money, and then he kind of really looked at me and was like, "Oh, do you want to go out with me?"
Oh my God, yeah, that's happened
So
several
funny.
times. Yes. Oh
Man.
my God, that's hilarious.
Guys have such guts. They do.
Seriously, there's some cojones there.
And I see some like average looking guys, right?
Yeah.
They'll hit on the best looking girl in the club. I mean, guys have guts. They think they'll do anything. They'll look at a girl and say, "Yeah, I'm average looking. She's way above average looking, but I think she likes me."
Yeah, I mean, got to give it a shot. Remember, you guys have a lot of millions and millions and billions of sperm, to waste.
That's
so
true.
you're gonna try to, put it.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've never been single long, but every time I was single, and I told you this before, and you don't believe me, but I would have to know 100% that girl liked me before I even asked her on a date or even made a move or anything. I would have to know 100, not just like 50%.
Yeah.
Well, she kind of likes me. I'd have to know 100%.
Well, how would that be? How would you know?
I would just feel it. You could feel when a girl
okay.
likes you because
Kind of flirtiness.
Yes.
Or like how they look at you.
yes.
Okay.
And you don't go by words with girls, you go by actions. If they're showing up where you are, they're,
okay.
you can decide by actions, not words.
I see. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah. You want a sure thing.
I would be a sure thing. I don't want to get embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed if a girl said, "Hey, no, you're too old. Get out of here."
But see, on the flip side, most of these men, right? They've been rejected so often and so
They don't
many
care.
times that
It's like sales.
Yeah, exactly. So you just haven't been rejected.
You have to give them the option to say no.
Yes.
That's exactly it.
Well,
if you don't give them the option,
Right.
and you say no to yourself, then there's no shot at all. But
See.
if you shoot your shot, then at least maybe they could say yes.
See, that's
true.
That's the male mentality.
That's true. That's
Absolutely.
true.
That's why you guys go around hitting on like 100 girls the same day and hoping that one or two will say yes. Right, Chase?
That's right.
Well, I mean, I've been in the sales my whole life. You're in the sales, of course.
Yeah.
Very successful. And if you're a good salesperson, 3 out of 10 is good. If you're going 3 out of 10, I mean, you are an awesome salesperson. Awesome. So yeah, guys use that, hit on 10 girls, and one's going to say yes, right?
See, we realize that as women, but
Right.
we can't help it.
Right.
We're like assholes.
Oh, that's another thing. What do we got? We're actually over time. One last question, real quick one,
Okay.
because I want this. Do you like bad guys or good guys? When I say bad guys, I mean guys with like cocky attitudes, like a Kohlmeier. You know what I mean? Like Kohlmeier,
He's a cocky. And you're the good guy.
I don't think I would put Kohlmeier in that
I
category.
know. I'm just kidding because I can hear him in the other room. No, he's not like that. But you know what I mean? Not cocky, but like, the
that's
arrogant
fair.
guy that's, wearing the gold chain. You know what I mean? That kind of guy.
Okay, that wasn't my type of bad boy, but when I was younger, I was definitely into the bad boy.
Yes.
Okay.
So, DJs, fully tatted up guys. One of my exes was in the Ukrainian mafia.
Oh,
Pretty much
jeez.
an ultimate bad boy. But yeah, now I'm totally over that.
Well, we
No thanks.
seem to desire the person or the people that is wanted by many others, right? I think it works both
That's
ways.
true. That's true.
Men are the same way with women. I think if there's a woman that is desired by a lot of men, you guys want to compete and try to get her, correct?
Right.
So women are kind of the same way, right?
I just think as I've gotten older, I'm way more focused on like stability. Are
Yes.
they safe? Like when I was young, it was like, ooh, they're fun, they're sexy, whatever. But now it's like, no, hell no.
Yeah, now it's opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
We women grow out of that. Men do not. I don't think.
And you know what? We definitely, I'm just speaking for men because I know men, but looks are everything to us.
Yes.
Looks are everything. I don't care if you're broke, rich.
Yeah.
If you're pretty, I don't care if you have 10 cents in your pocket, I would date you.
Well, oh yeah, well that's
how guys are. We don't care if you're
Absolutely.
rich or broke. But
Well,
yous are different.
Rich or broke, yeah, yeah. But I think you guys prefer women that are less successful because the ones, and we talked about this before too, or I talk about it a lot with a lot of people. But when you're more successful as a woman, men tend to, I don't know, what is it? They're intimidated or something,
I think
right?
I think there's men that are not as secure would be intimidated, but I think there's another
lot.
interesting aspect, which is kind of masculine, feminine energies. And a lot of success tends to mean this kind of being in your masculine energy. And in a romantic relationship, some men don't like that. And so like that's something I've been aware of and learning how to maybe and professionally be in my masculine energy, but like in a romantic dynamic, be more in the feminine.
Yeah, but it's so hard to change between those two because
I
you
agree.
are who you are as a person, regardless if it's in a romantic or in business, right? It's hard for me to switch over.
But I think it's an interesting thing to be aware of.
Yeah.
And it's also just what you want. I mean, honestly, there's some men that are really loving, dominating women. Like, I mean,
Right. Right.
it's just
Yeah.
a matter of
Well,
like,
I don't know. Remember,
pairing up and thinking what you want and finding that.
Yeah, but a lot of I feel that men are Captain Save a Hose, right? So, no, almost all men. I think that's what they want to. They want to be that hero. They want to be your captain. They want to, they want to be able to save you. Now, if you're successful, that means you have a good head on your shoulders. That means you have your life pretty, like planned out, or your life is cool and calm, and you don't have any dramas and stuff like that. But men prefer all that stuff because they want to be the hero. That's what I've noticed.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of agree with that.
So that's why successful women like myself have had issues
Dating.
finding real relationships. Yes, because of that factor. That's what I feel. Now, when I didn't have as much money when I was younger, it was very easy to be in relationships.
So you think so I think men think, and I'm just giving you my honest opinion. First of all, you're both successful women. I follow you both on Facebook. You're always on vacation. You're going on vacation. You guys are both successful women. So I'm sure you both ran into this, but I think guys would feel like, I'm just thinking if I was dating you, if I went on a date with you, I wouldn't be bothered that you made more money than me. I would feel that you would look down upon me because I didn't make as much money as you.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all.
But I would feel that way a little bit.
Right.
I mean,
okay.
I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I would
Yeah.
feel like maybe she thinks I'm never successful enough as her. I was just a stupid cop. You know what I mean?
Well, what about the men that are successful that go out with us also, but don't step up as a man? What about that?
Because it's interesting the intimidation thing. Because I'm a business owner, been a business owner for a while, and like successful even earlier, compared to some, but
Right.
more so now after being in business longer. But I dated this guy who was super successful. He owned 9 cars. He had 3 houses. He had a tiger. He had
He had a
several
tiger?
diamond companies.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
That's that mafia she's talking about.
No, different guy.
That's your
Different
Ukraine guy.
Oh.
And what was fascinating, I was at a point where I didn't make that much money.
Okay.
I had a freedom of my lifestyle. So
Right.
that was great. And he said to me, "You intimidate me." And I was like, what the heck? Like, it was really fascinating to me. 'Cause I'm
See?
like, I intimidate you. Look at what you, like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
super wealthy.
Right.
He worked with a lot of celebrities and
So you're saying the man, even if he does have a lot of money,
Yeah.
could still feel
he
intimidated.
could still feel that you have a lot of money, so you don't need him as much.
Probably
Right?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're probably right.
But that's what I'm saying.
Men do want to be needed. I agree
Yeah.
with you. Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Captain Save a Hose. I'm telling you.
I would agree.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to be a little more like, messy and dramatic so I can get a man.
All right. We'll end this show on this thing. We'll end it on this. We'll each give if Laura and Gentil, give men advice. What would you give advice to a man?
God.
Okay, we'll give advice before we leave what we talked about today. You want to go first, or do you want to think?
Yeah, I just think so much of what we talked about today is consent and kind of reading the room, reading the person, just being aware of that. And yeah, if you're having like a sexual exchange with someone and each person is sending stuff back and forth, fine, but like just be really aware. And there's a way to kind of feel out a person without violating their boundaries.
Perfect. Anything you want to add to that?
Dang it. Advice for men. Gosh, give us,
and give us flowers.
give us, oh yeah, we love flowers. But I don't know. Don't be so intimidated by us, successful women that have our life together, because we can add to your life. Actually, we can make your life even better, instead of, the opposite. So, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you
think
both
that's it.
today. I thought this was
Yay.
a great podcast.
Yes, it was.
It was
And
fascinating.
yeah, and it was fun. I can't wait to just come back again. And we talked about some off topics, but I think in the long run, people learned something.
Off topics are fun.
We definitely learned where the green door is and everything.
yeah. Not everyone.
Thank you both.
Awesome. Thank
Listen,
you.
we're here every Thursday to Problem Solvers. We're solving problems in the community. Thursday, 4:30, 6 p.m. on Tuesday, Cox Cable. Thank you all. We'll see you next week.